A father takes his son for a surf to be in full view of a house he has just bought that was also his childhood home. But unfortunately, the locals have one rule: don't live here, don't surf here. Film fans YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Josh, your movie apprentice, and today I am getting towards the end of my London Film Festival coverage with The Surfer, directed by Lorcan Finnegan and starring Nicolas Cage and Julian McMahon. No relation, of course. This follows, as I've said, a man who's buying a house, his childhood home, but the locals seem to be very against outsiders. And before I get into my review, if you like what you're seeing on the channel, click the like button and subscribe for more video reviews like this one coming all the time. So this is another independent Nicolas Cage feature, and I feel that anyone that has seen an independent Nicolas Cage movie will know there is a lot to expect from these movies, because if nothing else, you're going to get some weird stuff in it. And this is a film that requires a high suspense of disbelief, considering the amount of stuff that Nicolas Cage's character goes through in this. Trust me, you want to experience this weird, chaotic movie that just really strips down humanity to its bare bones minimum. Now, obviously, it's not perfect, and again, you have to suspend your disbelief quite a bit, because there are certain points where I can't see anyone truly sticking out the experience he is going through. He is so determined to surf on this beach that is willing to camp in this car park next to the beach and let these people do so much stuff to him, made to feel like the whole world is against him so many times. You have to question, at what point would you back out of this whole situation? It is established through a quick line of dialogue, something that kind of tells you exactly where the film is going to go. And if you catch it, it's very rewarding when you are proven right by the end of it. But unfortunately, even when we get to that point of the movie, which would have genuinely made it one of my top 20 films of the year, had it sort of ended around that period, the film does continue on a bit longer. And unfortunately, the last 5-10 minutes tend to send the film into a bit of a downward spiral for me. But if you're a big fan of Nicolas Cage, giving his all to any role as he does, this is a film that is well worth seeing. The locals are very natural feeling, because there are a lot of rural communities that are very encompassed with each other and never allow outsiders in, and really embracing that element really helped this whole sort of location that is desperate to live in stand as a protagonist in its own right, as not a single local seems to want them there. And at times he begins to question his sanity. I love that descent into madness that Nicolas Cage goes through. Yes, he goes through the descent into madness. What a shocker with a Nicolas Cage movie. It does have a couple of low periods, but they are always quickly brought back up. And when you start to believe it's going to go one way, it will pivot and go a different direction. So I liked how the film does keep you guessing whether you take it at face value or whether you want to take it down this more artistic version of events. What I really enjoyed about it is very much carried by Nicolas Cage's performance, but seeing him being stripped down piece by piece until there's almost nothing left is something that is just a wonderful experience to see. And seeing the reason for this all at the other end of it is very satisfying as well. But again, there are some characters in this that feel very rushed and very underdeveloped. There's one particular character that seems to suffer the exact same way Nicolas Cage's character does in this. For me, this character could have done with a bit more screen time than what he overall does in the movie. He spends a lot of the movie missing, but shows up at its optimal time to give us what is one of the weaker elements of the film. And the ending for me just doesn't quite work, purely because of how all these characters have been portrayed previously. It doesn't make sense that all of them suddenly 180 on their general attitudes that have carried through the majority of this film. But I do believe that could also just be a theme in the hypocrisy of people and how they'll act tough when it's on their terms. When push comes to shove and someone's confronting them with a direct opposite, they will immediately turn to shrieking violence. I like that element. There was definitely a strong sense of toxic masculinity in this. There's a strong sense of tribalism, just general aggression and testosterone filled moments in this. I feel like it's a very good insight into the tribalism of the male culture and just the tribalism of local communities in general. I thought it was a really good element. The Surfer is a weird movie. Can't imagine it's going to get too wide a release. It is a weird independent movie, but if you happen to see it on streaming at any point, or it even gets a local release down your end, then it's worth checking out, even just for a matinee. It's a fun experience, if not just to see Nicolas Cage deliver a classic Nicolas Cage performance. Say what you want about the guy, but he never takes a day off, I swear. And for that, I find this a film to be admired, but there are a number of flaws along the way. The son character in this that I mentioned in the intro, he does next to nothing in this film, and again, just kind of shows up. The characters that disappear for long periods of time, or either show up when the plot requires them to, takes me out of the movie quite a bit. But this pure struggle of this man wanting to return to his childhood home, only to be rejected by the locals, is an interesting story, and all the themes in there about tribalism and masculinity are strong as well. Before I give my overall grade, if you like seeing the channel so far, click the like button and subscribe for more video reviews. That's going to be our time. Without further ado, let's grade this. The Surfer is a classic Nicolas Cage performance. The stuff his character goes through throughout the runtime is very engrossing and at times very sickening. You have to question at what point would you check out of this situation, but I love the way the film sets up what the whole point is going to be, and had it ended at that point, this would have been a much higher grade. But unfortunately, there are characters that disappear for long stretches of time, and there are times where you suspension of disbelief. Even I sometimes had to really question at what point does the film want me to stay invested. Those are my major flaws with the film, but overall, I'm going to have to say that for me, The Surfer is a tea that needs more sugar. So The Surfer, have you had a chance to see it? If you had none of you thought about it down in the comments below, and if you like seeing our channel, again, click the like button, subscribe, click the notification bell, all that good stuff. Let's have a nice discussion. What is your favourite weird Nicolas Cage independent movie? Let me know, and until next time, everybody, I am Josh, I am a Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you all in the next video.